When I was 27 years old, I left a very demanding job in management consulting for a job that was even more demanding, teaching. I went to teach 7th graders math in the New York City public schools. And like any teacher, I made quizzes and tests and gave out homework assignments. When the work came back, I calculated grades. What struck me was that IQ was not the only difference between my best and my worst students. Some of my strongest performers did not have terrific IQ scores. Some of my smarter kids weren't doing so well, and that got me thinking. The kind of thing you need to learn in 7th grade math, sure they are hard, ratio, decimal, the area of a parallelogram, but these concepts are not impossible, and it was firmly convinced that every one of my students could learn the material if they worked hard it long enough. After several more years of teaching, I came to the conclusion that what we need in education is a much better understanding of student and learning from a motivational perspective, from a psychological perspective. In education, the one thing we know how to measure best is IQ. But what if doing well in school and in life depends on much more than your ability to quickly and easily? So I left the classroom and I went to graduate school to become a psychologist. I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging study. And in every study my question was, who is successful here and why? My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy and tried to be that which cadets would stay in military training and which would drop out. We went to the National Spelling Bee and tried to be that which children would advance for this in competition. We studied rookie teachers working in really tough neighborhoods, asking which teachers are still going to be here in teaching by the end of the school year, and also those who will be the most effective at improving learning outcomes for their students. We partnered with private companies asking which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs and who's going to earn the most money. In all those very different contests, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ, it's work rate. Grace is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grace is having stamina. Grace is sticking with your future. Day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. Grace is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. A few years ago, I started studying Greece in the Chicago public schools. I asked thousands of high school juniors to take Greece questionnaires, and then waited around more than a year to see who Greece graduates. Turned out that grade-year kids were significantly more likely to graduate. Even when I matched them on every characteristic I could measure, things like family income, standardized achievement test scores, even how safe kids felt when they were at school. So it's not just the West part of the National Spelling Bee that grade matters, it's also in school, especially for kids at risk for dropping out. To me, the most shocking thing about grades is how little we know, how little science know about building it. Every day, parents and teachers ask me, how do I build grades in kids? What do I do to teach kids a solid work ethic? How do I keep them motivated for the long run? The honest answer is, I don't know. What I do know is that talent doesn't make you ready. Our data show very clearly that there are many talented individuals who simply do not follow through on their commitment. So far, the best ideas I heard about building grades in kids is something called growth mindset. This is an idea developed at Stanford University by Kenneth Wake, and it is the belief that the ability to learn is not fate, that it can change with your effort. Dr. Wake has shown that when kids read and learn about the brain and how it changes and grows in response to challenge, they're much more likely to persevere when they fail, because they don't believe that failure is a permanent condition. So growth mindset is a great idea for building grace, but we need more. And that's where I'm going to end my remarks, because that's where we are. That's the work that stands before us. We need to take our best ideas, our strongest intuition, and we need to test them. We need to measure whether we've been successful, and we have to be willing to fail, to be wrong, to start over again with lesson learners. In other words, we need to be greedy about getting our keys greedier. Thank you.